What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So listen, let's get into this. Let's you know pinpoint some things. I've talked about these things and I've brought some of it to the light, but I want to focus on some things that Javante Tank Davis said because I want people to understand boxing isn't about favoritism. Life itself, there's just things. I'm not into the favoritism thing with people. I'm about what's fair and what's right. And let me say this, okay? For the people that's defending Tank Davis because you're a Tank fan, you're wrong. For the people that's just attacking Tank because you don't like Tank, you're wrong as well. And I'm gonna tell you how. As a let's just say an observer or spectator that watch Tank fight. Now, your opinion is your opinion. You don't have to like the way he fight. You can feel like he's not as good as people say he is or whatever. And I'm not here to argue with you or debate it. That's your opinion. But I'm going to tell you, Tank can fight. Tank is good. Now, his confidence, I don't know if his confidence is as big as his mouth. But the guy can fight. The guy is in the position he's in. In fairness, you have to look and say, there's other people that cherry pick that's in the position as well. He got to where he is. He's making the kind of money he's making. Now, you don't have to like how he got there. But when you boo him and cheer other fighters that have done the same things, you see, this is where you're wrong. Okay, and the fact of the matter is he's undefeated and he has beaten several guys that people picked to beat him. Now, after he beat them, then he'll say they were washed up. So, you got these people out here that just run their mouth and talk. Now, as a Tank fan, here's where you're wrong as well. Tank Davis, you guys are cheering him and saying Devin's a bum or Devin's overrated. You're just repeating what Tank is saying. Let's look at something, okay? Tank Davis has never shown any interest in fighting Devin Haney. He could care less when Devin Haney was undisputed. He can care less about any of that at any point in time. He never showed any interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson. And he basically never showed any interest in fighting Lomachenko. But at the same time, Lomachenko never showed any interest in fighting Tank. Now, Tank Davis said he wants to fight all of the guys after the Frank Martin fight that he didn't fight, nothing but the top guys. And then he turns around on his last interview, and when he's asked that same question, he says, nah, he's not the type of guy that call guys out. Whoever his management team bringing to him, that's who he fights. He said he had a hit list. Now, all of a sudden, he doesn't. Okay. So, wait a minute. I noticed, and I talked about it before, how he was snapping on the reporters when they kept asking him about Shakur Stevenson, when they asked him about Keyshawn Davis. Now, out of his own mouth, remember, I talked about this, and he said, Keyshawn Davis looking better than Shakur. Okay, so you have no reason to not fight Keyshawn. Now, he's saying these guys got to earn the right to fight me. And I told you, he'd rather the process of elimination, everybody eliminate everybody, makes his job a lot easier because then he get to sit back and then handpick when he's ready. And if the money's not what it wants, see, he's going to make his money. But you're defending Tank Davis. And basically, he's the one who made these claims about he wanted to fight nothing but the top guys that he didn't fight. So wait. He said Keyshawn Davis has done nothing, but Keyshawn Davis is better than Shakur. Shakur has done nothing. Okay, wait. Then I have a question for Tank Davis. What did Frank Martin do? What did Isaac Pitbull Cruz do? What did Raleigh Romero do? And I don't want to hear the bullshit about he was mandatory or he was forced into that fight. What did any of them do? What did Ryan Garcia do? You're more focused on popularity and a fight being a bigger draw based on the names, but not resume. Ryan's done nothing. What did Ryan do? What did Lamont Roach do? That they got the shots with you, but Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, they won't. I don't think there's anybody on the face of this earth that really thinks that any one of those guys I named is better than Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson. And the fact of the matter is, Tank is complacent where he is. And I noticed in this interview that with this last interview he did, I said, okay, this person is catering to him. So even when he's asking him certain questions, he's still asking him. It was more of a, let me give you this platform to go in and express yourself. So even when he asks certain questions, he's not digging into it. Why do you think Tank was getting so irritated with those reporters? You from Jersey? Where you from? Yo, man, yo, why you keep bringing up Shakur? Yo, I'll knock his ass out. I'll do this. Why you keep bringing up right? Look at how he was acting. These are reporters asking you questions about certain fighters because what's the reason for not fighting him? And you're going to say these guys have to earn the right and they've done nothing. And then you keep talking about how easily you'll beat them. This is how we're judging boxing now. If I tell you I can beat someone, okay, then cool. You don't have to fight them. Just we'll take your word for it. And we'll pay you big money for it. Tank Davis, I do not believe he is as confident that he can beat Shakur or he can beat Keyshawn Davis as he pretends to be. Because you cannot sit here and tell me that you fight a lesser fighter. And as you fight a lesser fighter, you win. And then tell fighters that's better than those guys that they haven't done anything. Listen, is this any different from Canelo telling Benavidez he's done nothing? He only beat one champion. He's done nothing. But then he fights Edgar Berlinger. Huh? He fights, what's the other guy name? The other Mexican guy that he fought. You know, he fought Jaime Munguia. Hell, he even fought Caleb Plant, which I think Caleb Plant is a good fighter. But didn't Benavidez also beat Caleb Plant? Yes. But he refuses to fight him and make excuses to not fight him. What is he doing any different? This is exactly where when you look at Tank, Tank is the one who claimed he wanted to fight all the guys he didn't fight. He said he wanted to clean up that, basically get all those guys, and he was already talking about retirement. And this is why he keeps saying it now. One thing I know a lot of fighters do, they'll start talking about retirement because they try to build more of a demand for more money from people. You want me to stick around? Pay me more money. Now he's talking about how he's been doing it since he was 7. He keeps saying all the same things. He even made a very contradicting statement in that same interview where he said, like, if he retired and then somebody's talking crazy, like he feel like he'd probably come back just to shut that person up pretty much. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he was saying. Why would you care? And you said you have nothing to prove to yourself anymore. So why are you fighting then? Why are you fighting? Anytime you step in that ring, okay, you have something to prove. And he also said, remember at the press conference with Lamont Roach, people like, they think like I can't lose or something, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody might, you get caught, and then like somebody catch you with a good shot, then like knock me out or something, or and this and this and that. And I'm listening to this guy talk, and I'm saying, yeah, you guys fail to want to see the truth. See, you guys are more comfortable with a lie than you're more about comfortability. I can look at him. It's like when people say Roy Jones should have retired after the Ruiz fight. The only reason they say that is because of what happened to Roy after that. But before that, they wasn't saying that. Why? Shit, Roy just beat a motherfucking heavyweight. Who out there Roy can't beat? And shit, at the lighter weights, especially going back to 175. And so yeah, they say that now, and they said it afterwards because look at the outcome. Look, Tank Davis, he had his little hit list, and now all of a sudden he doesn't have a hit list. So here's the thing, Tank. If everybody has to prove themselves to fight you, just you're not even the only champion in the division. So you're dependent on your star power like you don't need anybody. Well, here's the thing. If Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, of all people, they have to prove themselves to you, who is it other than them that you should be fighting? You're about to fight Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, from what I've seen of him, is a decent fighter, man. But basically, this isn't a super fight. This isn't even a big fight. You're the draw, and people see this as a fight where you're basically going to go in there and decimate this guy. Now, it can go a different way. Sometimes, like I said, things happen. But you know damn well you're not fighting the top guys. And this is where people are going to start to, this is where I understand people losing respect for Tank. Because Tank is not talking like someone that loves the sport of boxing. Tank is not talking about someone who cares about his legacy. You're sitting up here comparing yourself to Floyd. Nobody in the boxing right now is better than me. I feel like nobody's skill for skill is better than me. Not even Floyd. Then he retracts and say some other shit, whatever. But kind of like, man, please. You're supposed to be confident in your skill set, and that's great. You should be. But for the record, Floyd would have fucked you up, man. You're not smart enough to beat Floyd. You're not crafty enough to beat Floyd. Floyd might still beat you right now. You don't have what it takes to beat a Floyd. Let me tell you something about Tank, and this is what this is his decision. Okay, Tank doesn't care about being an all-time great. He doesn't have to. The reality of that is, when you take guys like Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Durant, you know what made them special? Imagine Ray Leonard's career, but he never fought Hearns, he never fought Hagler, he never fought Durant. And I would also have to put Benitez in there because Ray fought all of those guys. But I would have to put them in there. But imagine he never fought them. He fought everybody else in his career but those four. You think that people would have seen Ray the same way? Now let's put Hearns, Hagler, and Durant in that same situation because they all fought each other. You should fuck the business model bullshit, the thrill of competition. You should be saying, like you claim you wanted to fight all the top guys that you never got a chance to fight yet. Now all of a sudden you're saying something completely different. So to sit and tell your fan base, it don't matter who I fight, it's always going to be the same outcome. Same bullshit Tyson Fury was talking. You see what Tyson Fury said about Alexander Usyk. He can't punch. He's too small. He's a middleweight. He did all of this talking and got beat by the same little middleweight twice. But if that fight never happened, the general consensus would have been Tyson Fury, too big, too strong, too good. It's a case of a big little man versus a good little man, and more than likely the big good man wins. You keep talking all of this shit about who you're better than. Prove it. And like he said, remember when I said these fighters act like they're doing a favor when they fight? This is exactly what came out of his mouth. He's doing these fighters a favor by fighting them far more than they're doing him a favor. That's bullshit. It's true and it's false. True, they're going to get the biggest paydays against you, but it's false because without a fucking dance partner, you don't get paid either. So you need opponents. What needs to happen to people like Tank, Canelo, or any other fighter for that matter that has that mentality like, I fight when I want, who I want, and I don't care about the paying customer. Those guys need for the fans to stop supporting their careers. That's what needs to happen. They need to have a pay-per-view and that shit tanks out. And they're like, what the fuck? Nobody's watching. Yeah, nobody care about you and that opponent. They want to see you fight the top guys. See, this is the problem with you fanboys because you guys will support bullshit. I'm saying, plain and simple, no, I could care less to see certain fights happen. I'm not, Lamont Roach is there. He has a title. He's going to do what he's going to do. And pretty much Tank is taking the easier route. By no way, shape, or form do I see Lamont Roach as being better than Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson. No. But at the same time, you know what? It is what it is. Tank Davis, You guys are, the funny thing is, you guys are sticking up for him, but he's the one who made these claims. He said what he said, and you're not holding him accountable. You're trying to just you're repeating what he said and trying to make the case that, yeah, he'll beat them anyway. So you're telling me you're okay with Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, being in the same weight class right now. Even Abdullah Mason on the come up, but you're okay with Tank not fighting them. And the reason I'm not adding Lomachenko in this is because, as far as I'm concerned, Lomachenko is just a title holder. That's all he's doing is filling the space with his name as the IBF champion, because I don't even think Lomachenko is going to box again. And the thing about Lomachenko is, what is he, 37, 38 now? So what is he going to do? Not fight Tank, but come back and fight who? And for what? I mean, and should he lose? Oh, well, Lomachenko's old now. They start trying to pull the old shit when he fought against Haney. And I'm like, if y'all really thought that Lomachenko won, why the fuck are y'all bringing his age up? Why y'all trying? Nobody brought Haney's age up and said, yo, the kid's only 23, man. No. So, I don't even consider Lomachenko. I mean, the fact that he's there in the division, yeah. And if he's there and people are not wanting to fight him, that's one thing. Loma's been called out by Tank. They were supposed to fight. They were in negotiations. He decides he wants to go chill with his family. Haney's been calling him out. And Haney's at 140 now. So Haney's out the picture as far as him and Tank. But Tank never wanted to fight him either. See, one thing that you got to learn about your favorite fighters is your favorite fighters will talk real reckless about other opponents and speak as if they're, it's easy work, because they don't really want to fight them. And what I kept telling you guys, Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight Usyk. Usyk's bravery, Usyk's fearlessness towards him, it actually scares Tyson, and it pisses him off at the same time, because he can't understand why this much smaller guy is not backing down from him. You see the way both fights went. And of course, Tyson Fury made the excuse, oh, he won the fight, but the judges saw it differently. So he was robbed, and in both fights. So he resorts to the excuses himself about he think he won. Okay, whatever. At the end of the day, y'all, it comes down to, when you want something, the words that come out of your mouth, right, your actions will follow. When you don't want something, you come up with this same thing. It'll be the same outcome. They're all bums. I'll beat all of them. I'll fight any man born from his mother, and twice on Sunday, and all this stuff he said. And look at what happened. So it's no different for Tank, anybody else. You can say all you want about these fighters, but then the thing about it is, it would make more sense if Tank Davis fought and beat Shakur, fought and beat Keyshawn Davis. And he's telling guys like Frank Martin, telling guys like, Lamont Roach, guys like that, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, you got to earn a shot with me. That would make more sense, not the other way around. And even when he fought Pitbull Cruz the first time, look at what Pitbull has been through in his last couple of fights. You understand what I'm saying? And we realized Pitbull is one-dimensional. And Leonard Ellaby and them, they were trying to pitch out the idea of a rematch with Pitbull. Who the fuck want to see that shit again, man? Oh, well, no, because it was a great fight. Okay, Tank hurt his hand, showed his hand was all swollen at the end of the fight, and just so he can have a better showing in a rematch. Who cares? Pitbull Cruz is one fucking dimensional. He's not a smart fighter. Okay, he was in the right fights where he looked good, but I saw him for who he is. I saw him for what he was. A one-dimensional guy that just comes forward. Like I said, a lot of people will applaud bad boxing because you guys are throwing punches and landing shit, but there's no defense, there's no feints, no slip and slide, no nothing, no special effects, just basically just straightforward. All we know how to do is throw punches and get hit. And Pitbull Cruz is one of those guys. He's decent, but that's it. It's as simple as that. And you were willing to fight that guy. Okay, well, you were willing to fight Lomachenko and he bailed. Okay, Lomachenko lost to Devin Haney. Lomachenko lost to Teofimo. And the funny thing about it is, he sits up there and tries to give credit to Teofimo. Teofimo lost to George Kambosos. And then Devin Haney beat George Kambosos not once but twice in his country. So the logic that Tank is trying to use is nothing but excuses. See, let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all are going to, go to your grave being fans of people. Some of you guys are going to go, damn, you know what? Whether it's because of my influence or because you're on your own or whatever, you're going to realize being a fan, it makes you disingenuous. And it makes you like a fucking idiot because you're out here arguing over people and defending them when they're the ones. It would be like, just imagine if I sat here and said, I don't like Cocker Spaniels, and if I see anyone I see, I'm going to end their life. And then somebody go, damn, Aries, that's cruel. What you going to say? Oh, man, it's not like he said he's going to kill him. No, that's exactly what I said. And this is what you guys are doing. You're trying to defend Tank. Like I said, I don't see Tank as no bum or nothing like that, but I don't see Tank as a Hall of Fame fighter. I see Tank as a moneymaker. He's popular, no different from Ryan Garcia, but he beat Ryan Garcia. He's better than Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia quit. Now, why are you holding on to that Ryan Garcia win and bringing that up, talking about you beat one of the top guys? Ryan Garcia showed nothing in that fight. And the fact that you bring up that he beat Devin Haney and you beat Ryan, but you also don't bring up the fact that, yeah, Devin fought a stupid fight. He didn't fight the most wise strategy, no. And we already went through all of why we think he did what he did and all that. But bottom line, you also don't bring up the fact that Ryan Garcia cheated. Ryan Garcia was on performance-enhancing drugs. He's a liar and he's a racist. You said, and your team said, you're not going to fight Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo Lopez is a racist and made all those racist remarks. He blew his chance. That's what y'all said. Okay, but you're willing and pitching a rematch with Ryan Garcia, who has done the same thing. Talking about he's anti-black, he hate niggas, he's KKK. Yeah, I wish I could dig up George Floyd so I could kill that nigga again. If I was the cop, I wouldn't have kneeled on his neck. I'd have shot that nigga. Remember all of that? But you're willing to fight him again, but you won't fight Teofimo for being racist. See, this is what I'm saying. And this is exactly what I mean when you hear me address my black people and I say, you motherfuckers sit here and pick and choose what black people you're going to support. But then you sit up and you take up for scumbags, or you take up for scumbag activity. You take up for guys that make up lies and contradict themselves. And that's exactly what you're doing in this Tank situation. You can sit and say what the fuck you want. We're black people. We're humans. We're not aliens. We don't need any special treatment. We don't need to make up lies for people because we're black. No. At the end of the day, we don't need that sucker shit. And Tank can sit there as arrogant and as confident as he want, as cocky as he want. But for you to even compare yourself to Floyd, you sound stupid, man. Your resume can't even fucking compare to Floyd's resume. It can't even compare to it. So the reason why he's talking that he don't care about the Hall of Fame and all that, which he don't have to, but the reason why is because he know that his ass ain't going to be in it because he has no plans on changing the way he approach fights and who he's fighting. See, Tank gets credit for the fact he just keeps knocking everybody out, and that's what it comes down to, the excitement factor. In terms of, first of all, you ain't never see Floyd go in there and just get outboxed by nobody all night just to get a knockout. Floyd saw what you was doing, then he shut you down. Tank figures you out, he see what you're doing, and he understands the physicality, he will break you down. This is the guys that he's fought. You can't sit here and say that these guys that Tank is fighting are Hall of Fame type material. And if you're going to sit here and tell Shakur Stevenson and tell Keyshawn Davis that they don't deserve a fight with you, then I don't know who does. And he even talked about going to 140 and fighting or fighting somebody at a catch weight. Well, you couldn't been talking about going to 140 again. You couldn't. I know you ain't talking about no 147-pounder fight you at a catch weight. So, and if you are, who? Why go through all that when you got Shakur right there? Who at 140 you wouldn't be giving him a shot. You don't have a belt at 140. You don't have a belt at 147. So you wouldn't be doing no fucking favor or giving them a shot. Motherfucker, you have to win the fight too. You make it seem like these people are poor. They're living out on the street, homeless, and they're coming to you for something that they didn't earn or they're not in position. You got to fight somebody, Tank. So who the fuck is it that deserves a shot? Who can you look at right now as a fighter at 135, 140, or 147 that you look like they deserve a shot with me? See, this is the problem with that cash cow shit. This is the problem when y'all soup these fighters' heads up and make them think that they're bigger than the sport because they say things like what Tank is saying. And as much as I respect his skill in the ring, Tank is full of shit. He's not better than Floyd Mayweather. And no, he's not even close to Floyd Mayweather. And then two, he's using his star power as leverage. So yeah, in terms of it's more of a favor for them because they're going to make a bigger payday is one thing. But you're not doing nobody a fucking favor, man, because you're going to make money too. If you without an opponent, what the fuck are you getting paid for? That's the type of arrogance I'm talking about. They sit there talking all this stupid shit about how we're not even supposed to be here. I know. That's why when people look at black people and they're racist as fuck and they talk like we're a bunch of animals, like we can't do things civilized, and you talking about how if you wasn't boxing, yo, you probably be dead or in jail and all that shit. And it's just like, yeah, I know. Y'all really want to give off this I'm a hell of a nigga vibe. But you don't take your fucking craft serious. And the fact that you sitting here talking about, yo, we not even supposed to be here on some real nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like us, man, you know what I'm saying? We, like, you know the type of shit we do and all that. This is exactly what came out of your mouths. And I'm sitting here going, wow, listen to this shit. You said all of that. Wouldn't that make you feel like shit, man? I'm only 29, 30 years old or whatever. However long I got left in this sport, however long my body will hold up and I can continue to do this, I'm going to do it. Because guess what? At some point, I won't be able to do it at all. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking like that, you're sitting up here fucking talking about how y'all not supposed to be here. And you're sitting up here talking about how after this fight, you're going to retire. Tank, you can't even fucking speak properly. You said he was talking about fighting a certain fighter and said, if the opportunity prevents itself. It's if the opportunity presents itself, not if the opportunity prevents itself. You can't be a commentator. You don't have those type of skills to be a commentator. You might be able to be a trainer, maybe a manager. I don't know how business savvy he is or whatever. And I'm not saying this to be insulting. I'm being real. What the fuck options do you have outside of boxing that you're going to be able to keep the same type of, get millions of dollars coming in? You're going to still be able to go out and do, live that lavish lifestyle. What else are you going to be able to do? Tank will be one of those guys, call himself retired. He'll be back in a year and a half and have excuses about how he missed the game or whatever the fuck. No, because your ass will be in need of money. And you can keep bringing up Floyd's name and comparing yourself to Floyd all you want. But that's some clout bullshit. And the fact of the matter is, Floyd make the same amount of money as you doing exhibitions. Yeah. Let's not forget, Logan Paul made more money than you in one fight. He made more money than Canelo, Anthony Joshua in one fight. In fact, 58-year-old Mike Tyson went in there and made $20 million against Logan Paul. So that's around what you're making. And the fact of the matter is, for you to sit and talk about how great you are and how nobody can match your skills, but you're willing to walk away from boxing in your prime, how smart does that make you, man? Yeah, several fighters have claimed to be retired, then come back, retire, come back, Floyd included. But at the same time, it's like I said, most of the time these fighters do that shit to build more of a demand for their brand. But, if you look at your resume, you can't even say the best name on your resume is Ryan Garcia. You can say he's the most popular name on your resume. Man, with the champions that you fought and beat, I give you credit because you fought and you beat them. Shane Mosley won titles at lightweight, and nobody talks about those wins. They only talk about his career at 147. Nobody really talks about Shane Mosley's career at the lighter weights. Okay, and not saying that that's fair, but the point of what I'm saying is those fights meant less to people. It wasn't because that's the last weight class he was at so much. It's more of the simple fact that those guys, just like Adrian Broner, notice how everybody talk about what Broner was. Does anybody ever talk about those titles that he won? The opponents that he beat for those titles? No, they don't. They only talk about him when he went up in weight. And this is what I'm saying. So when he won these titles, who did he beat to get him? This is what I'm saying. And this is where, if you look at Tank's career, success financially and all that, excitement factor, yeah, you have those things. But in terms of your opponents and you being a fucking a Hall of Fame fighter, no, hell, you're fucking Roy Jones has beaten more notable names than you have, and more respectable names. And Roy Jones, that's his criticism. There's nobody on your resume as skilled as James Toney. And I'm just saying, and that's the Roy's heaviest criticism comes that Roy didn't have the names. He didn't have the quality opponents that he needed, to be seen as Ray Leonard or Hagler or whoever. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't beat dudes that he didn't fight. That was, in a different time and era or whatever. But what I'm saying is, you don't just jump and say, I'll put this guy over this guy just because you want to, and then make it make sense. You have to look at what a person has accomplished, why they did it, what they did and didn't do, why they didn't do certain things. And for you, right now, you are putting a wedge between you and real boxing fans. Because you're putting yourself in a position of guys gotta prove themselves to fight me. And here you are getting ready to fight against a guy. Yeah, it's for a title. It's for a title. And I know a lot of people that will talk down on Tank will be the same people that will applaud somebody else doing the same thing. Oh, it's for a title. No different from when we wanted to see, Crawford versus Boots, and they were, but he's going to 154 to fight for a title. Okay, cool. So yeah, people can't say shit about you and then applaud Crawford for doing the same thing. But at the same time, you're just avoiding the top guys at 135, man. And see, this will make people look and go, like the Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko ain't no big superstar either. He's no big superstar. His fan base failed to see him for who he is right now. They fail to see him for what he is and what they want to act like the camp. They want to act like the Teofimo loss never happened. Just like Teofimo fans, they want to act like the George Kambosos loss never happened. But you yourself, same thing. Like I said, you want to sit and talk about who beat who and who beat who, but your logic is flawed, man. Your logic is flawed. Like I said, you said, let's count some things here. You said that Teofimo lost his shot with you because of the racist shit, right? Yet you're willing to fight Ryan Garcia in a rematch who did the same thing. That's one. You said Shakur Stevenson. You said Keyshawn Davis have to prove themselves to fight you. They have to prove this. They've done nothing. Yet, you're fighting Lamont Roach and you fought dudes. All those dudes you fought and beat. I believe strongly Keyshawn Davis would have beat them same dudes that you beat, and Shakur would have beat them same guys you beat too. That's two separate guys right there. So that's three people. That's two extra people. So that's two more flaws. Because you're taking two fighters trying to put them in the same category. Yet they're better than all these other guys that you fought and better than the guy that you're about to fight. So that's three flaws right there. Oh, there's a whole lot more, but let's look at what you said. You, out of your mouth, said you want to fight all the top guys that you didn't fight. You have a hit list. Now you're saying you don't have a hit list. That's four flaws right there in your logic. Then you're sitting up here saying Keyshawn Davis looks better than Shakur, but they both have done nothing. Okay? So that's a part of the same flaw with those two. But you see the point. You keep contradicting yourself. Everything that you said is just a reason, an excuse to not fight these guys. And to sit up here and say, look at what I did to Ryan Garcia, and look at what Ryan did to Devin Haney. So what? That doesn't mean that you do it. And even if, bottom line is, that's how fighters settle the score in the ring. Once again, you was willing to fight Teofimo Lopez, and the excuse was, your reason was rather him with this racist shit, and I could actually respect that. But at the same fucking time, bro, stop playing. George Kambosos beat Teofimo, and Devin Haney beat motherfucking Kambosos twice, like I said, in this country. So that's 5 flaws right there. Just on some simple shit, man. You say things and you do something different. You're too emotional. You get in your feelings about everything, and you want people to think the way you think. That's not the way the world works, man. That's just not the way the world works. So as far as I'm concerned, man, no matter what you say, and no matter how you try to, put things to where you're doing interviews, it seems like now I guess that's going to be your pattern. Let me do interviews with people that's just going to give me a platform to talk and say what I'm going to say, but they're not going to really, bring up what they should bring up. Hey, listen, and like I said, I've always respected what Tank does in that ring, what he brings to boxing. But this bullshit that he's doing is bullshit, man. And if you're going to sit here and blame Floyd and Leonard Ellerby or whoever, the Al Heyman or whoever, you're going to blame these guys for holding you back. Well, who's holding you back now? Wouldn't you want to break that streak? I never fought this guy and this guy and this guy because of Floyd and them. Now I'm no longer signed to Floyd. Now I can do everything that I want that they deprived me of. But now all of a sudden, you're not wanting to fight them. No, it was never Floyd. In fact, I'm going to show you a sixth flaw. You said Floyd set you up and put you in a fight with, I forget the dude's name, the Latino guy. You wound up beating him. But you said that Floyd put you in there too soon. This was only your 16th fight. And he put you in there hoping that you lose because he got word or heard a rumor that you was messing with his daughter. So how is Floyd trying to keep you out of fights when he's putting you in fights? And you want to know what? Listening to your childlike logic, I don't know anything about all that daughter stuff and all, but Floyd, probably I could sit here and say as a grown man, Floyd probably was like, yo, for you to get what you need to get, Tank, you got to fight the best fighters out there, man. This dude has a belt. Why you won't fight this guy? You can beat this guy. Floyd probably believed in you more than you believed in yourself. There's times Floyd was at your fucking fight. He's in your corner, shouting out to you, yo, Tank, do this. And remember, I remember one fight he was telling you something he was telling you to do. And then when you finally did it, you knocked the guy out. And he tell you, I told you, man, it was there all night. So you see, this is what I'm saying. Everybody's against Tank. It's Tank against the world. Everybody's against me. Blah, blah. That's all I'm hearing from Tank. And listen, it doesn't matter. Y'all can take sides and want to believe what you want to believe. For me, it's never about what I want to believe. It's about what's true, what we can prove, and what we know. What we think we know, like I said, a lot of times, like we're on the outside looking in. So we don't always know what exactly is happening. So this is why if I give you any information about something and then I find out that it's something different, I will make it my business to get a video out to correct that because, you can't even trust what you hear anymore. I mean, I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth, but damn, you don't even know if you're hearing the truth anymore from anybody. These people just talk shit. I mean, I'm listening to different content creators talk bullshit, and I don't watch anybody faithfully. I just don't. But I see these guys with the 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers, and these dudes be giving y'all pure bullshit. Let me tell you motherfuckers something. Y'all can go get all the soundboards. You can go get all the fucking $300 microphones. You can do all that shit. You want to know what? That's not impressive. You can get a nice background. I can go do all that shit myself. You want to know what y'all fail to do? Y'all get all the fancy equipment. Y'all get all of this fucking technical shit. But what y'all don't do is deliver the fucking truth. You don't speak with dignity. Y'all a bunch of meat riders, and you think because you can sit here and tell us when somebody was born, how much they weigh, how much fucking hair they have on their head, how much hair's on their balls, what they eat in the morning for breakfast, who they dated, who their first girlfriend was. You think that makes you a boxing aficionado. No, You motherfuckers are just full of ego and bullshit. And you're not talking about nothing. And everything that you say is in your feelings. And you're emotionally attached to these fucking fighters, man. And y'all sound like a bunch of pussies. All of you motherfuckers. You do not fucking know how to separate the truth and what's factual and do it like a fucking stand-up man. Y'all sound like a bunch of little boys. Oh, I'm the best in the business. I'm this, I'm that. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me. See, I got this and I got, you got what, motherfucker? Negro, what the fuck do you have? All you do is talk shit. It's in your fucking name. And then you're always taking shots at other channels just for the simple fact that your fucking fan base, your followers, will get on your ass because you're trying to manipulate them. And you will sit here and give a bullshit logic about what's what. Just like, somebody asked it when I was asked about the fight between the replacement between Parker and with McCauley. I'm saying, I don't know. I think it's a more dangerous fight. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. I saw he got on the scale. He was 315. Martin McCauley is a fighter he's been out of shape or looked more like out of shape in most fights that he did look like he's in shape. And he's been able to win regardless. I don't know what's going to happen. So when I say, hey, man, if Parker wins, they can go with the whole he wasn't in shape. He called him short notice excuse, or it could be the actual reason. But bottom line, he accepted the fight, so it doesn't matter. You're in, you're in. If he beats Parker, right? People going to say, hey, man, he wasn't even in shape when he beat Parker. Parker's overrated, see? People keep talking about Parker. No. At the end of the day, people are going to say what they're going to say. I don't know what's going to happen. And like I said before, like somebody was like, yo, I don't think it's a better fight, Aries. I never said it's a better fight. I said it's more likely a more dangerous fight. Okay, at the end of the fucking day, they're fighting. So you got people talking about how Parker and them don't really want this fight. Their initial reaction, they were scared. They're like, yo, this guy's a problem and all this and that or whatever the fucking. And I'm like, man, I don't care about all that shit. Bottom line is, you motherfuckers are like a bunch of divas with all these little details and inner feeling shit. Man, all we give a fuck about is these motherfuckers are fighting. That's that, man. We don't need all that other shit. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change anything. What's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. And this is where I'm coming from with it, man. And like I said, you go back and look at my videos. I've given Tank his props for how you go in there and dismantle these guys. Like I said, I was the one taking up for him when everybody was saying Mario Barrios is going to beat him. Mario's long, he's rangy, and he can box. Yo, Tank is going to have a hard time getting in, blah, blah, blah. After Tank beat him, he's overrated. Mario Barrios is a bum. But then Mario Barrios goes out. He fights against Keith Thurman, and then everybody, all of a sudden, now Mario Barrios is a good fighter, and they praised the Keith Thurman fight. And I remember one idiot was so dumb, this motherfucker came in the comment section saying, yo, I thought you knew boxing. If you think that Keith Thurman fight with Barrios was a good fight, I don't know what to tell you. And I told him, I said, I don't know what type of fucking crack or monkey ass you sniffing, you bitch-made motherfucker, but learn to fucking pay attention before you respond. He never responded with anything else, because his stupid ass realized, I'm saying, you motherfuckers are the ones talking about Mario Barrios is a bum. But when he fought against Keith, all of a sudden now, he's a good fighter. And that was nothing but the Keith Thurman fans. This is what fighters do. The same way how they shitted all over Caleb Plant, and he ain't shit, he's trash, he has no tank, but all of a sudden he goes in there, he has a good showing against Canelo. And I told you guys, he had the tools he needed. How he put it together, how he used them, that could be something else. Now, all of a sudden, y'all want to praise him because he lost. As long as I can give you praise, but it's clear that the fighter that I worship is on a higher plateau, then I'm cool. That's the mentality that these people have, man. And that's what it comes down to. So this favoritism shit, nah, I don't give a fuck. I like I said, man, I like Tank as a fighter. I like AJ as a fighter. I love Clarissa Shields as a fighter. I like Alicia Baumgartner as a fighter. There's several people. I like Sky Nicholson as a fighter. Several people. But if they go in there and get knocked the fuck out and get beat, man, I don't lose no fucking sleep over that shit. I'm doing what I'm doing in my life. I don't give a fuck personally. And the problem with a lot of you, most of you, is you can't relate to that. Aries, well, how could you not? Because I don't give a fuck. Have you ever worked at a job for a number of years and not gave a fuck about your coworkers or the person, the man? It's nothing like a personal thing, or whether it's personal. Bottom line is you just come to work to do your job. I'm that employee. My coworkers don't know my personal business. They can't tell you the name of my sons. They can't tell you my wife. They can't tell you nothing about my personal business. The only fucking thing they can say is, yeah, he's my coworker, and he don't take no shit from nobody, and he will curse your ass out for asking the wrong questions and saying the wrong things. I don't put my business out there, and I don't ask people their personal business. One thing about me is when this camera's off, I'm the same dude. I'm not putting on an act for you guys. So people don't know how to relate to that, because to them it's like, how could you watch AJ lay there and splish splash and not feel it? Because it ain't happened to me, it happened to AJ. I don't know AJ personally. He's not a friend of mine. I respect his skills in the ring. So when I tell you that he doesn't look confident in himself, and I critique the things I'm seeing based on what he's doing, that makes me a hater all of a sudden. Man, this childish generation, you guys got to grow up before you talk to me. Real shit. Yeah, like Tank talking about you gotta earn your way to fight. Yeah, you gotta earn to talk to me. You gotta grow the fuck up, because you come with that little bullshit child logic. I just gave Schofield his props for stepping up to take the fight. Same way he bitched out, he pushed up, he went and made a bullshit fucking his father making all these claims about blaming Shakur for sending a fucking SWAT to his house and saying that they had kids in the house, that they were, trafficking kids, all this shit, just bunch of shit. Did I not put a video out showing my disgust for the shit that Team Schofield was doing? And how the fuck you can't just make accusations and oh shit, that's what happened? No, you got to prove that shit. You're the one making these accusations. And the fact that you guys are okay with someone making accusations but don't prove it. Just say that some shit and say this is what happened. I got paperwork, but they won't show it to you. No, I don't care about his paperwork personally, but this is some bullshit that he did. And the fact that he can make proof, I give you an example, real simple. Dylan White told us all, Deontay Wilder told him he will freeze him out for 2 years. He showed the guys at the zone. They said, yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, and that's okay. Okay. They saw the text messages from Deontay. Dylan proved his point, and Wilder froze him out. Did Wilder deny the shit? So this is the point, what I'm saying. People need to be held accountable for what they say. And the fact that somebody can just tell you, oh, well, what happened was I was about to fight, and I remember I forgot to walk my dog and shit. So I had to go on the plane and go back and motherfucking go walk my dog. You know what I'm saying? I can't neglect my dog. So shit, I hop back on the plane, come back out, and these motherfuckers talk about the fight is over. Like, the fight ain't, what the fuck, what you mean? I had to go walk my dog, nigga. Just postpone this shit. I'll be back a little, we gonna do it tomorrow. What you mean the fight is over? That's the type of stupid logic that y'all come up with, man. No, I'm gonna take pictures laying up in a hospital bed with a fucking oxygen mask on my face, but I'm gonna go the next day, show up, I'm perfectly normal all of a sudden, and I'm gonna act stupid and stunned and startled like I don't know why the fight's off. Really? Why do you think I made it my business to make it known? Mike Tyson, out of his own mouth, let us know he had 8 blood transfusions just months before he fought Jake Paul. And he even said, I didn't know it was because of blood transfusions, but I remember him saying it was even hard to walk, but it's hard to walk right now, but he'll be ready come fight night. And every exercise Mike did, he looked like he was exhausted at the end of the exercise. He was barely doing them properly, and you can see he wasn't walking right. Yet the fight still happened. Mike was like, fuck that. That's $20 million, man. And he went in there and he fought a 28-year-old man in a bullshit fight. But bottom line, do you understand the information was accurate? That's what we care about. You motherfuckers like to try to dramatize shit, man. Grown-ass men sitting up here fucking talking to other grown-ass men like you in fucking love with them, arguing for these motherfuckers and making excuses for them, man. Be honest about shit, man. Motherfucker, man, but what about AJ? What about AJ, bitch? Did you not hear me fucking ever speak? This is the thing. People pick and choose what videos they watch. I've made several videos where AJ said things that I didn't agree with. AJ said things that I felt like that's part of his problem. I did my split splash when Dubois knocked his ass the fuck out. I don't give a flying fuck. You guys care, not me. You care. I'm nobody's fan. You would never hear Ari say, I'm a fan. I'm nobody. Not music, sports, acting, nothing. I'm nobody's fucking fan. Ain't no motherfucker on this earth I look up to. I don't believe in no fucking deity or none of that shit. So you know I'm not going to bow to no fucking man. Do you think these fucking fighters want me to interview them? You think a motherfucker who sees, this motherfucker call it down the middle, and no, they wouldn't want me sitting across from them. They wouldn't want me sitting across from them. Because the motherfuckers know, for one, I ain't scared of no fucking body. I won't back down and I will fight you, motherfucker. They know that shit. And then two, the motherfuckers also know, damn, listening to this dude, he's different. He not going to sit here and try to, no. And I have no interest in talking to these motherfuckers. Because first of all, I'm not a fucking fan, and I'm not giving you a platform to sit here and tell your lies on. It would be far and few who I would interview. So what would be the purpose of a show of me interviewing certain fighters, right? I would be hurting myself, and I wouldn't be doing this shit for free, right? So yeah, I don't have the mindset of the interest. I don't have the interest in interviewing these motherfuckers and, you know, sitting up here playing nice with these motherfuckers to where, like, I don't believe nothing coming out of your mouth, but I'm just going to give you a platform to lie on. Because now I can't sit here in front of you and interview you, let you lie, then make a separate video, and then say, I don't believe you. I'll tell you to your face I don't believe you. You understand what I mean? Do you think these sensitive ass, childish ass fighters want to admit when they're full of shit? Of course not. So basically what I would have to do is pretty much just do interviews and not do this channel. You understand what I'm saying? This way they can spew their lies and then you figure out what you think is true. Otherwise, you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not one of them motherfuckers. I got, listen. It's all about doing the right thing. And if you think that lying for people, and let me give you a perfect example of something. You guys heard the Deontay Wilder video when he went on 7-8 Sports the next day after the fight, or whatever it was, 2 days after, the next day, whatever. You guys read the comments. You guys came to your own conclusions. You guys know damn well. Now just imagine, I'm sitting on the couch. Deontay Wilder sitting on the fucking other end of the couch. Do you fucking think I'm not going to bring up Deontay? You said, after you lost the fight to Anthony Joshua, the question that was asked was, is it true that you and Anthony Joshua had already signed contracts that both of you had to win your fights for your fight to take place? Is there any truth to that? Your response was, man, they don't want to fight. He never answered the question. You went into comedian mode and started talking about how AJ was smiling. You never seen him so happy before. He only won his fight because you won your fight. Because you lost your fight and you motivated him to fight better. And then you said, this nigga was happy as hell when he saw me lose. That motherfucker cracking the fuck up. I'm thinking we still fighting. How could you possibly think you were still fighting when Turkey made it clear to you and AJ that you both had to win? Is that how boxing goes? Would you have fought AJ if he had a loss? And you can't say yes because you sat in the back getting your hands wrapped. And getting your hands wrapped, you were asked if AJ loses, would you still fight him? You said, no, if he loses, no, then there's no need to fight. So why is it any different for you? And you think that that's something that a grown man should even let come out of his mouth? You understand what I'm saying to you? So, yeah, man. This is my personal channel and I do what the fuck I want to do. If I'm interviewing these motherfuckers, man, it's not about being argumentative. They're not going to do interviews with me. This is what I'm saying. So for me to do interviews with them, I would have to do my platform of me letting them say what they're going to say, ask questions, but at the same time, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. And they motherfucker ain't gonna be telling me shut the fuck up or turn their back. Nah, I'm not gonna be walking around with a microphone sticking out and you turning your back to me, talking to whoever and brushing me off and talking tough like they be doing to these other motherfuckers. You understand? So that shit is not for me. So anyway, I give you guys the boxing news, and I do not come with bullshit. I know there's some of you that appreciate it, and I know there's a lot that hate it because they don't like the truth. It's simple. They don't like the truth, because the truth exposes their favorite fighters. And so, therefore, well, I got to find a reason to hate on Aries or whoever else is speaking the truth. You can't say I'm fucking lying about this shit. Everything I fucking said, your fighter said it, they did it. But you want to make an excuse. What about that person? It's like I said, man, it's just like example, if you live on the street and all your neighbors went around raping all the little girls on the street, you going to rape a girl too and go, well, I ain't the only one, officer. What about the other ones? Nah, you keep your fucking nose clean. You make sure you don't get involved in that shit. It's real simple. So I don't get down all the other shit, man. These fucking these content creators that sit there and meat ride these fighters and sit up here with posters of them on their wall. And I eat, sleep. When I wake up, boxing. When I go to sleep, boxing. When throughout the day, but yeah, because you don't get no pussy. That's why you don't get no women, motherfucker. That's why. These motherfuckers, yeah, boxing. I guarantee you this. These fighters ain't thinking about your motherfucking monkey ass. And at the end of the fucking day, guess what's going to happen? You jumping around like a little fucking chimpanzee, happy to, for what? Man, just do your fucking content, man, and be respectful about this shit. This is why I don't fuck with these dudes, man, because they got that two-faced vibe. And I know in this day and time, in this economy, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and these motherfuckers are trying to eat off their channels, and they will give you any kind of controversial bullshit because they know, even if they comments have if they got 5,000 comments, and let's say all 5,000 comments, somebody going, you don't know what the fuck you talk about, blah, blah, blah. They don't care as long as you're chiming in. That's why they're doing 3 and 4 super chats a fucking week. They're doing this, Let me give an example of something. This one dude, I don't know who the fuck he is. I've never seen him before. And yesterday, his video popped up in my feed. And the topic of his video was what makes Tank great. Now, for whatever reason, the people in his comment section started talking about him, I guess, disrespecting some female or doing something inappropriate to a female. And the topic, he was trying to take it there because he's saying, like, y'all bringing this up instead of talking about Tank. All right, so let's go. And they were just going back and forth about nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I realized it was a live. So I said, okay. So I'm watching this shit, and I said, okay, I see what's happening. Now look at this. They went through all of that, and I don't know what happened. I tuned off, and I'm watching other stuff, and this video pops back up. But now they're talking about Alexander Usyk. This guy is saying that Joseph Parker has the best resume in boxing. Okay. And heavyweight boxing or whatever. Parker, AJ, Dillian White, those 3 have the top best resumes in heavyweight boxing. I give him that. Usyk don't have the best resume as a heavyweight in heavyweight boxing in terms of the amount of people he's fought at heavyweight. But one of the guys was, when he was naming the people that he fought, when he talked about Usyk fighting against Joe Joyce, he said, no, he never fought Joe Joyce. He never fought him as a heavyweight. He fought Joe Joyce in World Series of Boxing, but, as a cruiser. It wasn't as a heavyweight. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because Joe Joyce just isn't skilled enough for Usyk, right? But what I'm saying to you, things can slip our minds. We can not remember certain things or whatever, but this is what I'm saying. These fucking people in his comment section is making the conversation about him because they were angry because these were Tank fans that did not want him to make his points. And even though what he was saying was accurate, they didn't care. And this is the point of what I'm saying. And it's just like, man, it's a very childish world we live in. We all these keyboard warriors and all of this, bullshit. But I tell y'all what, it is what it is. And I will tell you this. If Tank Davis doesn't fight Shakur, he doesn't fight Keyshawn, and he sticks around, especially after claiming he's going to retire, he sticks around, who do you want to see Tank fight? Name any one motherfucker right now. And he's not going to fight that. If he's not going to fight Shakur, he's not going to fight Keyshawn, then he can't fight Abdullah Mason either, because Abdullah Mason has less fights than all of them. And he's, Abdullah Mason is still doing what, 6 to 8 rounders or whatever? Or is he doing 10 rounders yet? Did he even get to that 10 round yet? But Abdullah Mason is on the come up. So if he's not going to fight anybody like that, who the fuck do you want to see him fight at 135? And he already said he'll fight at a catch weight. No, if you, motherfucker, you sitting up here talking about you'll fight somebody at catch weight. Floyd did fight at 154. He fought at a catch weight at 152 with Canelo, but it didn't drain Canelo. It didn't bother Canelo. But here you are talking all this fucking shit about you'll fight somebody you already making it at a catch weight. For why? Why can't you just go to 140? We already know why. You know how many times Floyd has been in the ring with somebody and he was clearly way smaller, 15, 20 pounds smaller than the person he's in the ring with? And here you are talking all this shit about you got cruiserweight power, you can knock out a cruiserweight, and you talk about how hard you hit and how skill for skill, how there's nobody in the game as good as you. Oh, if you were skillful as what you're saying and you believe that, you wouldn't have to fight a motherfucker at no damn 138 or whatever. No, 137. No, 140. We're not even going to talk about 147. 140. You did it once with already, right? Why not do it again? So, end of the day, all that shit he was talking was trash. But hey, listen, y'all. It's all about what's right. So if you hear me speaking on somebody's behalf, it's about the logic attached to that person's name. All right? And then if you hear me another video and I'm not in favor of what that person is saying, that is just letting you know. That's common sense. Yo, Aries is on some straight up shit. He ain't about favoritism. And this is what I've been telling you guys from day one. It's not what it's about. Nobody's hating on no damn. This is not about hatred towards Tank Davis or any other fighter. This is just the reality. You talk bullshit. What am I supposed to talk about in my video? I'm gonna sit here and act like I don't see it. I've defended Tank. I've disagreed with Tank, just like any other fighter. Simple as that. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.